Shalom. I'd like to start out by giving all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ruach Quadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone. Shalom to the elect of Israel. This is the Mayim in Atlanta, and I'm on the website endoftheamericandream.com. It's a great website. They have lots of informative articles on here, and most of the articles are actually very prophetic. I believe the brother Barzal, the elder Barzal, put this out into our group a while ago. I've been following it ever since, but here we are back on this website. And so the article that's pulled up came out September 18th, 2025. I saw some other brothers post on this. I hadn't seen any lessons on it yet, but it says the earth has been shaken by 466,742 earthquakes so far in 2025. And so to put that into perspective, I went and pulled it up from Google, how many earthquakes occur each year. And so just from the AI overview, it says the U.S. Geological Survey, USGS, National Earthquake Information Center, locates approximately 20,000 earthquakes globally each year, which averages to about 55 per year. However, this figure includes all detectable earthquakes, with the vast majority being too weak to be felt by people. Roughly 100,000 earthquakes can be felt, and about 100 cause significant damage annually. And so overall, this is really the closer one that we should be looking to. Overall, around 500,000 earthquakes are detectable worldwide each year, but the total number of detectable earthquakes could be in the millions if very small earth movements were included, according to the USGS. So, 500,000 each year. We are in September, so about 3/4 of the year through, and we're already basically at that number. So, yes, we can conclude that this is a significant number. This is very high for this year's total. It says, have you noticed that our planet has been shaking a lot lately? The magnitude 7.8 earthquake that just hit Russia's Kamchatka Peninsula is just one of the 466,742 earthquakes that have rattled the giant space rock that we all live on this year. So, talking about the Earth. And that was a big one. There were tsunami warnings going over to the West Coast, so like California, state of Washington, Oregon. They were all in Alaska. They were looking to get tsunamis. Japan actually received some, but it wasn't as big as what everyone thought it was going to be. But nonetheless, that was a huge earthquake, and there were a lot in that region over that span of time. So simultaneously, dozens of volcanoes have been erupting, and there have been all sorts of very unusual events in the heavens. If you think that if what we are experiencing is normal, you probably have not been paying much attention. Because this is huge. There have been a lot of volcanoes recently erupting. There's been a lot of earthquakes going off. We've had, and then just natural disasters in general. And these all go into the Lord's return, the Lord coming to visit this place. And even uproars of the people, because 2nd Esdras chapter 9 talks about that. When thou shalt see earthquakes and uproars of the people, then shall you know that it's the very same time when the highest shall begin to visit this world. He's visiting this world. He's visiting these people, and we're seeing people, I guess, taking notice to that. We're seeing their behaviors change, which is kind of funny because when natural disasters happen, you normally see animal behavior change, but we're seeing the Lord's return coming, the Lord visiting this place, and we're seeing people's behavior change going into this visitation. But getting back to this, it says, earlier today I went to Volcano Discovery and I learned that there have been, that 466,000 number of earthquakes so far in 2025. One quake above magnitude of 8, 11 quakes between magnitude of 7 and 8, 105 between the magnitude of 6 and 7, 1,545 quakes between 5 and 6, 11,611 quakes between the magnitude of 4 and 5, 45,000 quakes between the magnitude of 3 and 4, 98,000 for 2 and 3, and 308 quakes below 2. People normally don't feel this below 2. It says it has particularly been a banner year for large earthquakes. Normally, we see between 110 and 125 earthquakes of at least a magnitude 5.0 during a 30-day period, but earlier this summer, we witnessed 494 in just 30 days. That's crazy. And I was saying that without even reading what he's saying. That is crazy. That's crazy. That is crazy. Lord willing, the Lord returns soon. We want him to visit this place. We want him to put the earth back into order. We want to eat clean food, and we want him to set his people up on top, and we want him to make a mockery and an astonishment of the heathen, especially Esau Edom. But it says the Pacific Ring of Fire has been more active than anywhere else, and it just got hit by another huge earthquake. A massive 7.8 magnitude earthquake struck Russia's Kamchatka region at around 3 p.m. Eastern on Thursday, sparking concerns of a potential tsunami along the U.S. West Coast and Hawaii. NOAA and the National Weather Service's U.S. tsunami warning system has since confirmed that a Pacific-wide tsunami is not expected and that there is no tsunami threat to Hawaii. And this was a few weeks ago when we saw this, but that was jarring to see that they were preparing and waiting for a tsunami, especially them in Hawaii, because it's, they're all out there on their lonesome on their little islands, wondering what they're going to do. And the Lord is going to take care and protect his that are there, because we have brothers out there in Hawaii. But it says we should be very thankful that there was no tsunami. Next time we might not be so fortunate. Following the initial quake, there were more than 30 aftershocks of at least a magnitude of 4.5. It says a few days earlier on Monday, Alaska was rattled by a couple of very large quakes. I'm just keep going on down, but because this is basically the point. There's a lot of earthquakes occurring. We normally have this amount in a full year, but this year we're already here by September. So it's going to be, as he said, a banner year for earthquakes. But getting into the scripts, this is Isaiah chapter 29 and verse 6. It says, "Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, the Lord of armies, with thunder and with earthquakes." These different natural occurrences. No matter if Esau produced them or if they actually occurred naturally through Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. No matter what, this is showing that the Lord is coming back to visit, especially this amount, the frequency in which it's coming, and the magnitudes in which they're occurring as well. With thunder and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest, and the flame of devouring fire. So we should look out for all sorts of natural disasters to be occurring. And even outside of natural disasters, the elder Abba was going into a while ago, talking about how there are earthquakes that occur that aren't actually natural disasters. Like Kobe dying was an earthquake that shook up the world. This Calvin Klein guy that just passed away or that was taken out, that was an earthquake that shook up people, and it's shaking up things currently. We're still getting the aftershocks of that. That's an earthquake, so we can look for those as well. He says, "In the multitude of all nations that fight against Ariel, this is another way of saying Jerusalem. It's actually, let's go into it. But yeah, another way of saying Jerusalem, it goes into lion. Strong's H740, Ariala. Arial. I think it's Ariala. But Salakia, if I'm Baba Kashal, correct me. Ariala. Ariala. Salakia, I need to get better with the Assyrian. Ariala. Ariala. And it's Ariel, Lion of the Most High, a name applied to Jerusalem. And we're waiting on our lion to return to lift up Jerusalem, to deliver Jerusalem, to deliver us. Speaking of Yahushai, it says, "In the multitude of all the nations that fight against Ariel, even all that fight against her and her munition, and that distress her, shall be as a dream of a night vision." And so, showing the Lord's visiting and then bringing down the heathens, all of our enemies. So we want these visitations. We want these earthquakes. We want these uproars of the people. We want these different natural disasters because we want this world to come to an end. We want it to come to an abrupt end. And so, Lord willing, that was edifying. We want to see more of these uproars of the people, more of these earthquakes, more fire. Baba Kasha. I'd like to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Ukha, Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone. Shalom to the elect of Israel. Shalom.